My wife packed her bags and said, "You'll never be successful. Leaving you is the best decision of my life." I said nothing. She didn't know I'd just been promoted to VP with a 7-figure bonus. Her best decision ended up being the most expensive one she ever made. I, 34 male, watched my wife pack her Louis Vuitton suitcase on a Tuesday afternoon and thought, this is actually happening. Grace, 32, worked in corporate law at one of those glass tower firms downtown. We'd been married for 6 years, together for 8. She zipped the suitcase with force, each pull of the zipper punctuating her anger. "You'll never be successful, Brandon. I've wasted the best years of my life waiting for you to become someone. Leaving you is the best decision of my life." I stood in our bedroom doorway and said nothing. Not because I was hurt, though I probably should have been. I said nothing because 3 hours earlier, I'd gotten a call from my CEO. The promotion I'd been working toward for 2 years had come through. Vice President of Product Development. Base salary, $380,000. Signing bonus, $1.2 million. Stock options that would vest over 4 years, currently valued at another $2.8 million. The paperwork wouldn't be finalized until Monday. The announcement wouldn't go public for 2 weeks. Grace had no idea. She dragged her suitcase to the door, stopped, turned around. Nothing to say? No begging? No promises to change? "No," I said quietly. "I hope you find what you're looking for." Her face registered surprise, then something like contempt. "That's it? 6 years and that's all you have? What do you want me to say, Grace? I want you to fight for this. For us. You just called our marriage the worst decision of your life. I said staying was. There's a difference." She adjusted her grip on the suitcase handle. Tyler wouldn't just stand there. Tyler. There it was. Tyler Thompson, senior partner at her firm. 42, divorced twice, drove a Porsche he talked about constantly. I'd met him at firm events. He'd looked through me like I was furniture. "Tyler's expecting me," she continued. "He has a penthouse in River North. He takes me seriously. He sees my potential." Good for Tyler. She waited, wanting more. When I gave her nothing, she left. The door clicked shut. Not a slam, just a click. Somehow that felt worse. I walked to the kitchen, opened a beer, sat at the counter. My phone buzzed. Text from my best friend and colleague, Cameron. CEO made the announcement internal. "Congrats, VP. Drinks this weekend?" I typed back, "Grace just left me." 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. "What? When?" 10 minutes ago. "Does she know about the promotion?" "No." "Holy shit. You gonna tell her?" I stared at that question for a long time. Then I typed, "No. Let her figure it out." The criticism had started small. 2 years into our marriage, Grace made junior partner. I was still a senior product manager at a tech company most people hadn't heard of. At her firm's holiday party, I overheard her talking to another associate. "Brandon is brilliant with technology, but he doesn't have that hunger, you know? That drive to really climb." I should have said something then. I didn't. The comments became more frequent. "Julia's husband just made VP at Goldman. He's only 31. Or, "Did you see Michael's new Tesla? Jennifer says they're looking at houses in Lincoln Park." I worked 60-hour weeks building products that generated millions in revenue. I was good at what I did. I was respected. But I worked for a mid-sized company with a flat structure. Promotions took time. I didn't golf with executives or play political games. Grace's disappointment became atmospheric, a constant pressure I couldn't relieve. She stopped asking about my work, started checking her phone during dinner, came home later and later from the office. 6 months ago, Tyler joined her firm. I met him at a spring reception. He spent 20 minutes talking about his Porsche's horsepower, his place in River North with skyline views, his recent trip to Monaco. Grace's eyes had lit up in a way I hadn't seen in years. I should have seen it coming. The late nights became overnights at the office, the texts she hid, the new lingerie that never appeared in our bedroom. But I was buried in my own work, leading the product redesign that would eventually get me promoted. Last month, Grace stopped wearing her ring to work, said it got in the way when she typed. Yesterday morning, she'd been on a call in our bedroom, door closed. I heard her laugh light and genuine. I know he wouldn't understand this level of ambition. When she came out, I asked who she'd been talking to. Just a colleague, she said, not meeting my eyes. You wouldn't know him. I spent Tuesday night in the apartment alone, drinking one beer and ordering Thai food. The place felt bigger without Grace's presence. Not emptier, bigger, like I could breathe deeper. Wednesday morning, I went to work early. Cameron met me at the coffee station. You okay? Yeah, surprisingly, yeah. You going to tell me what happened? I filled him in. The whole Tyler situation, the years of criticism, Grace's dramatic exit line. Cameron whistled low. And she has no idea you're about to be VP? None. That's cold, Brandon. Is it? She called me unsuccessful, told me leaving was her best decision. Why would I share good news with someone who's made it clear they don't respect me? Fair point. He sipped his coffee. When does the announcement go out? 2 weeks. I signed paperwork Monday. This is going to be beautiful. Thursday, Grace texted, I need to come by for the rest of my things. Saturday at 2? I replied, fine. She showed up with Tyler. He wore a fitted polo and designer sunglasses pushed up on his head. Brandon. Grace told me about the separation. Sorry, man. Are you? He blinked. What? Are you sorry? You're sleeping with my wife. Seems like a win for you. Grace's face flushed. Brandon. What? Are we pretending this is something else? I looked at Tyler. You should know. She'll compare you to the next guy eventually. It's kind of her thing. Tyler's jaw tightened. We're here for Grace's belongings. Let's keep this civil. Sure. Take whatever's hers. They spent an hour loading her car. Clothes, books, the expensive blender she'd insisted we buy and never used. I sat in the living room, responding to work emails on my laptop. Before leaving, Grace stopped in the doorway. You could have been something, Brandon. You just never wanted it enough. I looked up from my screen. You're right. I never wanted your version of success enough. She left without responding. Monday morning, I signed the paperwork in the CEO's office. Olivia, our CEO, was a brilliant woman in her 50s who'd built the company from a startup to a major player in enterprise software. Brandon, this promotion is well-deserved. Your work on the platform redesign increased client retention by 34%. That's remarkable. Thank you, Olivia. The board wanted me to tell you, this is just the beginning. We're grooming you for C-suite, COO potentially, within 3 years. I absorbed that information. I appreciate the confidence. You've earned it. She slid the contract across her desk. Sign here, here, and here. I signed. My hand was steady. The announcement goes company-wide Wednesday, press release Friday. Any questions? Just one. When does the signing bonus hit my account? Friday morning. Stock options vest quarterly starting next month. I walked back to my office, closed the door, and let myself feel it. Relief, vindication. Not because of Grace, but because I doubted myself after years of her criticism. Wondered if she was right, if I lacked ambition or hunger or whatever quality she decided I was missing. Cameron knocked, stuck his head in. How's it feel, VP? Surreal. You tell Grace yet? No. You going to? No. He grinned. You're an evil genius. I'm just done being criticized by someone who never saw my value. Wednesday, the internal announcement went out. My phone exploded with congratulations from colleagues. LinkedIn notifications multiplied. By Thursday, recruiters were reaching out with even bigger offers. Friday morning, my bank account showed the bonus deposit, $1.2 million, minus taxes. Still over $700,000 clear. I sat at my desk staring at the number. Then I called my financial advisor. Brandon, congratulations. I saw the announcement. Thanks, Tyler. Different Tyler. Nice Tyler. I need to discuss investment strategies for the bonus and planning for the stock options. Absolutely. Can you come in Monday? I'll be there. Friday afternoon, the press release went out. My promotion was mentioned in tech industry publications. TechCrunch picked it up. So did Forbes. My phone buzzed. Text from a number I didn't recognize. Brandon, it's Heather from Grace's firm. Did you just get promoted to VP? I saw it on LinkedIn. Congrats. I didn't respond. Another text, this time from Cameron. Grace's friends are going to see this. I know. You ready for that? Yeah, I think I am. Update 1. The weekend passed quietly. I went to the gym, caught up on sleep, started looking at condos in better neighborhoods. Not because I needed to move, but because I wanted to. Fresh start. Monday morning, my phone rang. Grace. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. And again. By noon, I had 6 missed calls and 3 texts. We need to talk. Brandon, call me back. This is important. I blocked her number. She called from Tyler's phone. What, Grace? You got promoted to VP? Yes. When? 2 weeks ago. Silence. Long, heavy silence. You didn't think to tell me? Why would I? You'd already left. We were still married when it happened. Technically, yes, but you'd already packed your bags, announced I was unsuccessful, and moved in with Tyler. Didn't seem relevant. Brandon, this changes things. Does it? How? We should talk about the divorce settlement, about dividing assets. You left me, Grace. You wanted out. You got out. But if this promotion happened during our marriage, I'm entitled to. We'll let the lawyers figure that out. Mine's very good. You hired a lawyer? This morning. Filed for divorce this afternoon, actually. You should be getting served Wednesday. Brandon, wait. I hung up. Cameron appeared in my doorway. She called? Yep. And? Suddenly very interested in reconciliation discussions. Amazing. Truly amazing. By Wednesday, it got better. Grace's colleague Heather texted me. Hey, Brandon, I hope this isn't weird, but a bunch of us from the firm are getting drinks Thursday. You want to join? Grace won't be there. I stared at that message. Grace's own colleagues excluding her and inviting me? Sure, send me the details. Thursday night, I met Heather and 5 other lawyers from Grace's firm at a wine bar downtown. They were warm, funny, and surprisingly candid. We always liked you, Heather said. You seem genuine. Grace she changed after she made partner. How so? Became obsessed with status. Who had what? Who earned what? It was exhausting. Heather sipped her wine. When she started seeing Tyler, we tried to warn her. He's a serial cheater, but she thought she was different. She thought she was upgrading, another associate, Olivia added. But Tyler's broke. Pays massive alimony to 2 ex-wives. The Porsche's leased. The penthouse is rented. He's all show. I processed this information. Grace doesn't know. She's figuring it out. He's been pressuring her to cover more expenses. Says his money's tied up in investments. Heather leaned forward. Brandon, we're sorry for not saying something sooner about the affair. We thought you knew. I suspected. I was just focused on work. Well, that focus paid off. VP at 34? That's impressive. The evening was surprisingly fun. I left feeling lighter, like maybe Grace's departure wasn't a loss. It was a liberation. Update 2. Grace showed up at my office Friday morning, made it past security by saying she was my wife and I was expecting her. My assistant Judith buzzed me. Brandon, your wife is here. Tell her I'm in a meeting. She says it's urgent. Tell her to make an appointment through my lawyer. Judith's voice dropped. She's crying in the lobby. I sighed. I'll be out in a minute. Grace was indeed crying when I found her. Mascara running, tissues clutched in one hand. Brandon, please. Can we talk? Here's fine. Not here, somewhere private. Grace, I'm at work. I have meetings. What do you need? I made a mistake. A huge mistake. Tyler isn't... I thought... You thought he had money. Her face crumpled. It's not about money. Yes, it is. It's always been about money. Status. What you could tell your friends at firm events. That's not fair. You told me I'd never be successful, that leaving me was your best decision. Remember? I was angry. I didn't mean... Yes, you did. You meant every word. I kept my voice even, professional. Grace, we're getting divorced. My lawyer will be in touch about the settlement. I need to get back to work. Can I at least keep the apartment? It's in my name. I bought it before we got married. You have no legal claim. But I live there. You moved in with Tyler. That didn't work out. That sounds like a personal problem. Her tears stopped. Anger replaced them. You're being cruel. I'm being clear. There's a difference. Security arrived. Sir, is everything okay? Yes, my wife was just leaving. Grace looked between me and security, realized she had no leverage, and left. She tried one more thing at the elevator, calling back. Tyler was right about you. You're cold. Grace. I waited until she turned. I'm not cold. I'm just done. The next week was quieter. My lawyer, Beverly, a sharp woman in her 60s, called with updates. Brandon, good news. Because you purchased the apartment before marriage and she signed a post-nup 3 years ago regarding separate property, she has no claim. Her lawyer's pushing back, but they have no ground to stand on. What about the promotion? Can she claim any of the bonus? The promotion was announced after she left. The bonus hits your account after separation. She has no claim. Even the stock options are clean since they vest post-separation. So we're clear? Almost. They're asking for spousal support. Given her income as a partner at a major firm, that's laughable, but they have to try. What's your recommendation? Offer her nothing. Make her prove why a lawyer making $250,000 a year needs support from her ex-husband. Do it, Beverly laughed. I like working with you, Brandon. Most men in your position would feel guilty. I feel relieved. Update 3. The divorce became final 90 days after filing. Fast by divorce standards. Grace's lawyer pushed for delays, hoping to find some angle. But Beverly was ruthless. During this time, my life transformed. The VP role was demanding but rewarding. I traveled for client meetings, led product launches, mentored junior employees. I was good at it. Better than good. I also started dating. Nothing serious, just coffee dates and dinners. Relearning how to talk to someone who wasn't constantly evaluating my net worth. Cameron kept me updated on Grace's situation through the office rumor mill. Apparently, she and Tyler had a dramatic breakup. He'd expected her to pay half the penthouse rent. She'd expected him to cover her like a sugar daddy. Both were disappointed. She'd moved back in with her parents. At 32, a partner at a major law firm living in her childhood bedroom. The firm's not happy, Cameron reported over drinks. She's been distracted, missed deadlines. There's talk of putting her on a performance improvement plan. That's tough. Is it though? She's the one who blew up her life. Still, I don't take pleasure in her suffering. You're better than me. I'd be doing a victory lap. 3 months after the divorce finalized, I ran into Grace at a Whole Foods. She was in yoga pants and a Northwestern hoodie, no makeup, hair in a messy ponytail. I almost didn't recognize her. Brandon. Grace. How are you? I'm surviving. You? Good. Busy with work. I heard you're traveling a lot. Client meetings? Yeah, Europe next month. Singapore in December. She nodded, looking at the ground. That's great. Really great. Grace, I'm sorry for everything. For not seeing what you were building. For making you feel small. For leaving when I did. I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to twist the knife. Part of me just felt sad. I appreciate that. Tyler and I broke up. I heard. He was, not what I thought. People rarely are. I miss you. Not the relationship we had, but who I was before I became so focused on appearances. You were good to me. I just couldn't see it. Grace, I hope you find what you're looking for. I genuinely do. But we're done. That chapter's closed. I know. I just needed you to hear that I'm sorry. She walked away, pushing her cart toward produce. I stood there for a moment, feeling nothing but relief that I wasn't going home to that energy anymore. The full weight of Grace's situation became clear 6 months after our divorce. Heather texted me. Grace got let go from the firm. Thought you should know. What happened? Performance issues, but really it was the culture. After the divorce and the Tyler situation, she became the office gossip. Partners lost confidence. She lost clients. That's tough. She's interviewing at smaller firms, taking a massive pay cut. Her mom posted on Facebook asking for job leads. I didn't respond. What could I say? But the story wasn't done. A week later, Cameron forwarded me a LinkedIn post. Grace had updated her profile, seeking new opportunities in corporate law, open to positions at all levels. All levels. Translation, She was desperate. I checked her profile. She'd removed her profile photo, changed her headline from partner at prestigious firm to just attorney. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Brandon, it's Tyler. Can we talk? I stared at that message. Then I blocked the number. Another text came through, different number. It's Tyler again. I know you blocked me. Please. It's about Grace. Against my better judgment, I called. What do you want, Tyler? Grace is not doing well. She's depressed, not eating. Her parents are worried. And you're calling me because? Because she won't stop talking about you, about the mistakes she made. I thought maybe if you talked to her. No. Brandon. Tyler, you and Grace destroyed her marriage for your own ego gratification. You both thought you were upgrading. Turns out you were just two shallow people using each other. That's not my problem to fix. She's talking about hurting herself. Then call a therapist. Call a hospital. Don't call me. We're divorced. I'm not responsible for her mental health. I hung up, but the call shook me. I texted Heather. Is Grace okay? Tyler called saying concerning things. Her parents got her into therapy. She's not in danger, just dramatic. Tyler's trying to manipulate you. That tracks. Don't engage. You're free. Stay free. Good advice. Final update. A year after Grace left, I closed on a new condo. 2-bedroom, floor-to-ceiling windows, view of Lake Michigan. I furnished it slowly, deliberately. Everything in it was mine, chosen by me. Cameron helped me move. You've come a long way, man. Yeah, feels good. You dating anyone? Seeing someone casually. Julia. She's a professor at Northwestern. We met at a friend's dinner party. Is it serious? I don't know yet. We're taking it slow. Does she know about Grace? Yeah, I told her everything. She said, people who criticize ambition usually lack their own. I might marry her for that line alone. Cameron laughed. You're happy. It's weird seeing you happy. I was never unhappy. I was just exhausted. Fair. That evening, I stood on my balcony with a beer, watching the sunset turn the lake orange and gold. My phone buzzed. Text from Julia. Dinner tomorrow? I'm cooking. I smiled. I'll bring wine. Grace texted once more, 3 months later. I heard you're seeing someone. I hope she makes you happy. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. My life now is full in ways it never was with Grace. Work challenges me. Friends support me. Julia makes me laugh. I travel. I invest. I build. Sometimes I think about that Tuesday afternoon when Grace packed her Louis Vuitton suitcase and told me I'd never be successful. How I stood there silent, knowing what she didn't. How timing is everything. She left me at my lowest visibility and highest actual value. She bet on appearances and lost on substance. I'm not glad she's struggling. I'm not vindictive. I'm just free. And that freedom, that peace, that ability to build a life without constant criticism, that's worth more than any promotion or bonus. Grace thought leaving me was her best decision. For me, her leaving was mine. Sometimes the trash takes itself out. You just have to let it go. To everyone dealing with a partner who measures your worth by your paycheck or your title, leave or let them leave. Either way, free yourself. Life's too short to spend it proving your value to someone who's already decided you're not enough. I'm enough. I was always enough. I just needed Grace's absence to remember that. The VP title is nice. The money is nice, but the real success? That's the silence. No more criticism, no more comparisons, just me living my life, making my choices. And that, finally, is enough.